It's muffed. A rough fantasy year. The data has a lot to say about it. Muffed! Joe Burrow finished 2025 as the number 29 quarterback in total PPR scoring, but the number 15 quarterback in PPR per game among passers with at least 6 starts. That gap tells you everything in one breath. When he played, he was a top half fantasy starter. When he didn't, his managers were scrambling. A grade 3 turf toe injury in week 2, the most severe version requiring surgery, wiped out roughly 9 games and forced Cincinnati to ride Jake Browning and then Joe Flacco for 2 months. Burrow returned on Thanksgiving against the Ravens, by his own words, faster than anyone thought possible. 8 games, 1,809 yards, 17 touchdowns, 5 picks. A tidy line crammed into the back half of the year. Now let's get into the numbers because they explain both the per game ranking and the frustration. Burrow's efficiency when healthy was elite, a total passing expected points added of plus 36.6 in just 8 starts, a completion percentage over expected of plus 4.6, and an intended air yards mark of 7.57 with average air yards to the sticks at minus 0.69, a quick, accurate, on-schedule passing game with a time to throw of 2.8 seconds. The volume showed up to 17 touchdowns in 8 games pace out to a 36 touchdown full season. The consistency profile, though, is what fantasy managers need to internalize. Burrow averaged 16.8 PPR per game, but that average hides a barbell. 3 games under 9 points, 2 before the injury in weeks 1 and 2, plus a 5.5 dud in the week 15 shutout loss at Baltimore, against 5 games of 19 or more after his return. From week 13 on, Burrow averaged just under 20 PPR per game with multi-touchdown outings in 5 of 6. That's a starting caliber quarterback. The early season Burrow and the shutout game Burrow dragged the total ranking down to 29. The play that captures this season's identity wasn't a touchdown. It was the second quarter interception against Cleveland in week 1. First and goal from the 7, a short left throw intended for T. Higgins picked and returned 97 yards the other way for a minus 12.6 expected point swing. One snap, a 14-point flip in a game Burrow finished with 8.8 PPR. That was the season in miniature. When the margins broke against him, they broke catastrophically, and there were only 8 games to absorb the variance. The healthy December Burrow, 4 touchdowns at Miami, 3 more against Cleveland in week 18, is the player. The injury and the red zone turnovers stacked into the few games he had are the asterisks. Muffed! Burrow finished as the number 29 quarterback in total points and the number 15 in per game scoring, an injury-shortened year where the efficiency stayed elite but the availability cratered the total. The one on-field number that stings, 3 of his 5 interceptions came on plays returned for touchdowns, including 2 from inside the opponent's 10-yard line. That's catastrophic red zone variance, and it cost him both wins and fantasy points in a season where he couldn't afford to give any back. That's Joe Burrow's 2025. One quick note, if you want the same treatment for every player on your fantasy roster every week, head to muff.ai and we'll build you a custom weekly show. That's the wrap.